Hey there! You're watching the Jessa Channel on YouTube. I'm Jessa, and today I am here with more Skyrim. In the previous episode, Kinlen and her companions took Fort Dunstad, and Kinlen found this orc bloodkin side of herself surging forth. And at the end of the battle, she gave a triumphant, almost howl of joy and power and victory. She did sustain some injuries, so she's resting. It is still Sundays, about 5:25 p.m. on the 29th of Hearthfire in the 4th era. She's going to rest at her campsite, make some dinner, and then we're going to head down to Helgen in this episode. And as you can see, Valgus is watching over her protectively after having bandaged her wounds, and Kinlen's a bit dirty and a bit tired. But she opens up her book that she carries with her at all times. The True Nature of the Orcs. She peruses it, noting that Malakath, whose name is also spelled Malakath, I think that's how you pronounce it. He is not technically a Daedric lord, which is one of the reasons why Kinlen reveres him. He is Daedra, but he's more of a... The other Daedra do not recognize him as such. He is a champion of the High Elven Pantheon, in some places more popular than Ariel. Trinimex's body and spirit were corrupted by Boethia, and he emerged as Malakath. His followers likewise changed for the worse, and this is the part that always kind of grasps Kinlen's heart. Despised by everyone, especially the inviolate Ariel, they quickly fled to the northern wastes near Sarthal. They fought Nords and Chimer, who Kinlen doesn't know who those are yet. And I don't either. So if you know, let me know in the comments who Chimer or Chimmer were. For a place in the world, but did not get much. In Skyrim, Malakath is called Orkay, or Old Knocker, and his battles with Ysmir are legendary. Kinlen considers this side of herself that came out during the battle. It's not a rage. It's more like a deeply empowering sense of triumph before the battle has even been won. Almost as if Malakath has reached inside her soul and told her she will be victorious. Though that's not yet been determined. So it's a very empowering part of her. And Kinlen has taken some time to start a fire. She and Valgus put out a tent. Valgus looks like he might rest for a while. But Kinlen's going to make a little bit of food. Now, Kinlen's not a great cook. She can put together basic food around the campfire. She carries in her pack always cooking utensils and whatnot. But most of the time she will prefer to buy things that are already cooked at an inn or something. But somehow she just feels a strong need to make some healthy food by the fire. So she's boiling some eggs. And while she puts the eggs on to boil, using some melted snow water, she's going to try this recipe that she's grown to like a lot. This stuffed gourd. It's stuffed with a goat cheese wedge, chicken breasts, and that's just stuffed inside. She cuts the gourd open, stuffs in, takes a bit of the gourd out, and the seeds, stuffs in the chicken breast, torn apart into pieces, and the goat cheese wedge, and sets it right next to the fire to cook. Simple, easy meal, and it also keeps well in her pack. Lastly, I think she's going to try... She could make some vegetable soup She's got enough to make a good pot fill. So she chops up the vegetables. Valgus smells all the food cooking and comes in to help her speed up the process. And they chat about this and that. Kinlen asks him if he'd like some snowberry tea, and he gratefully accepts. And they have a little amusing argument about how whether Nordic tea is as unpleasant as Kinlen finds it. Valgus likes it. Kinlen doesn't. Okay, and also, I'm not going to have her make any butter because that's just, like, how would you make butter by a campfire? I don't think you could. Maybe. Probably not. So we'll just skip on that. Kinlen's butter is a luxury that she loves to have with her bread, but it generally doesn't happen on the road. Takes quite a bit of time to cook dinner. And Valgus is satiated and heads to sleep. Kinlen doesn't feel the need to set watch besides the dogs, who are always at watch, because just over there, is the lights of the fort, where Brock, the bowman, is now in charge of that fort. Kinlen's going to sit and eat, ladling some of that hot, delicious vegetable soup and tearing apart and blowing on her fingers the stuffed gourd, and finishing it up with some of that delicious warming snowberry tea, which is becoming a favorite of hers, with, as always, a bit of milk in her tea. Just so you'll know, for role-playing sake, from the very first episode, or as soon as we were able to get them in her pack, Kinlen has always carried around the accoutrement needed to cook and eat on the road. Her cast iron pot, she has a fork, a knife, a tankard. She has down here a wooden bowl, ladle, and plate. She chose wooden because they're a little bit lighter in the pack. So yeah, when we're doing this, you know, she actually has the tools to do it. She does have a flute. I don't even remember where she picked that up. And she's not very musical. She's got a little bit of a tin ear. But she will occasionally attempt to blow on it and try to make something pretty come out. At night when she's thinking, or when she and whoever is accompanying her are in the near the campfire. But so far, she hasn't found any good teacher to help her learn the flute more properly. Something she does just to take her mind off of things. And also, another thing that she does to take her mind off of things is have a pipe, which she hasn't had in a while. So why don't we just do that before bed? She's quite tired, as you can see. But she sits down to enjoy a pipe, listening to the almost cozy sound of Valgus murmuring in his sleep, and Scout and Miko nearby. Sometimes they play with each other, but they always keep an eye out for anyone coming near the camp. Kinlen thinks over what's happened to her, just thinking about Malakath, thinking about this power, and also wondering if she might need some sort of training to control this orc bloodkin nature. How do orcs keep themselves from going into something that's basically uncontrollable? Kinlen also notes that Valgus sleeps a lot quieter than Brock does. Brock sounds like a bit of a foghorn when he sleeps. Because Kinlen's had some injury, she's going to sleep a little bit longer than normal. She has dreams of going to the place where the Daedra dwell and meeting Malakath. That was a good rest. Much needed. She tests her ankle, where she had the injury, her left leg, and notices that it feels almost as good as new, with a bit of potions. She should be able to walk with no problem. She climbs out of bed. Also noticing that Valgus is up before her. I love all the clipping that happens when she gets up in the tent. It's like we suddenly get the inside of Kinlen. Ah! And she has a few more pieces of... Oh, maybe not. Kinlen scratches herself a bit, stretches, and grabs some wood for the fire. And she's already looked around there, so let's head over to another tree. There's plenty to be had. Let's see if she's had some wood here. No wood at that tree. It is good, though. The fresh air is invigorating, and I need to get some exercise on my leg. So if you set up camp and you walk too far away from it, you will see in the menu pop up that says back to camp. So Valgus has said to Kinlen that he would like his own pipe. Right now they share hers, but he thinks he'd like to have... He loves the smell of the elf's ear. Ah, warmth. Valgus, good morning.
Stars guide us.
Yes, well, if you can see the stars in the daytime to guide us on our way to Helgen, that would be most appreciated. Also, let's make sure he is set up. To do... There we go. Just want to make sure he was set up properly to... Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. I totally didn't mean to do that. I screwed up. I pushed too quickly, and I'll show you what I mean. If I can, here we go. This will hopefully allow me to change that menus, the menus that just popped up. This is from... Oh, interesting. Huh. I've never seen this. This is a menu for Be With Healer.
Lady, teach us tolerance.
Let's go over here. I love Be With Healer. It's wonderful so far. There's a few little... I don't want him to heal enemies. That's what I want. Cast to enemy. That's what I want to take off. There we go. There's a few little... Well, actually, there's only one little thing that I have found. Well, I actually changed my load order. I added in another mod that I needed at this point in the story. And it caused him to, as you can see, stop being assigned as the healer. So that's why I wanted to double check that he was still set up. Which he wasn't, so we've done now. Valgus, it is time for us to go. And that music basically says, let's ride. Okay. Valgus and Kinlen put the tent up, and Valgus regretfully looks at the warm fire before Kinlen gives a bit of treats to the dogs. Valgus already gave breakfast to Scout, but Miko, who's such a great companion. All right. It is good to know that one more fort is in our hands, and we have regained the Pale. It gives my heart a feeling of triumph. So, let me address my map. That's not the direction I want to be going in. I don't think. I want to go. So did I put a... I did. So let's have Kinlen take out her compass. We're going to be heading, I think, in that direction. Or I'll twirl around in a gazillion ways. Is it this direction we need to go? And that's what the compass says. I don't believe it. But yeah, it is. Okay. And this is why we, for the millionth time, use the compass, because otherwise we would have ended up in the Sea of Ghosts. Kinlen takes a moment to glance in, sees that the soldiers are at work. So a fun little thing here, the soldiers all being here in the middle here, milling around, is from a mod called Reinforcements. And that mod Kinlen just feels a sudden need to go kind of across country sometimes. I like to find new paths and new ways. Some sort of fort here. No. There's blood on the... Perhaps they are out hunting. Ah, I can see far away there. Kinlen looks out on the plains. Oops. Let's try this again. Kinlen looks out on the plains. No. It's like, no, she doesn't. I said she does. I have a key bind set up for this, but it was not catching for some reason. I don't know why. Come on, Kinlen, look out in the plains. Thank you. I don't ask for much, Kinlen. That's all I can do. Thanks. Anyway, Kinlen looks out on the plains of Whiterun that she can see in the far distance. Ah! A giant camp. You know, my memory serves. There will be a road beyond that camp. Let us give it a wide berth. Partly Kinlen doesn't mess with the giants. I mean, partly because it's a difficult fight. Ah, yes, a road. I was correct, and then just up there's... Ah! Well, I've connected two places that I had not really connected before. Ah, this is why I like to travel. Across country instead of by the roads. And also it's a bit shorter. The road up that way would have taken a bit longer. Kinlen puts her compass away, knowing she won't need it from this point on. As if I can get lost while staring dragons reach right in the face, then I really do need help. So, we are going to head off towards Helgen. Kinlen wants the fresh air and the chance to run, exercise her body. And I would like to read you a book. So, this book, I believe, is called The Dragon War. And it is a couple of minutes long. As usual, I choose books that aren't very long. And if we run into anything interesting on the way, I'll pause the book, take care of it. Otherwise, I'll see you as we arrive towards Helgen. The Dragon War by Torhall Bjork. In the Merithic era, when Ysgramor first set foot on Tamriel, his people brought with them a faith that worshipped animal gods. Certain scholars believe these primitive people actually worshipped the divines as we know them, just in the form of these totem animals. They deified the hawk, wolf, snake, moth, owl, whale, bear, fox, and the dragon. Every now and then, you can stumble across the broken stone totems in the farther reaches of Skyrim. Foremost, some action here. Kinlen sees the guards. Do you need any help?
Gosh, no!
Stormcloaks? Stormcloaks! Oh! Well, that sucks.
By the order of the Jarl. Stop right there.
Well, I guess we're going to Whiterun because I guess you shouldn't help the guards. I just learned a little lesson. All right. You caught me. I'll pay off my bounty. I submit. Okay, well, let's just pay off the bounty.
Come along with us. We'll take any stolen goods and you'll be free to go. After you pay the fine, of course.
Well, I guess maybe I accidentally hit the guard. I'm not sure. But I guess they don't... Noted. They don't need any help. Well, that was not fun. Thank you for the healing, though, and for accompanying me.
Congratulations were in order. Balruf has made you a thane, which means you'll be rubbing elbows with those in the Cloud District from now on.
Kinlen is not really interested in talking at the moment. She's a bit grouchy. It's hot. Here. I don't need this now. And as far as making Kinlen a thane, sheesh. I'm trying to remember. I mean, obviously she is, or he wouldn't have said that, I guess. I'd have to go back and look at season 1, but I don't think Kinlen was ever made a thane. Kinlen ignores the guard as she walks by him, irritated. Who knew you could get into such trouble simply by attempting to help? I should have known better, though. Ah, this could make me feel a little better. What have you got for sale?
Need something? Take a look.
Kinlen buys up the bread, looks over the sweet rolls, thinks twice. Thank you.
Until next time.
Kinlen takes out her timepiece. I had to stay there overnight. Which I didn't realize it was overnight. But yeah, it's morning now. And that is most unfortunate. But I suppose I'll just look around and see if there's anything I need. We're going to tell the, as usual, tell the followers to rest here. Tell the companions, I should say, to rest. And Kinlen's going to go in and see if there are any potions. Yeah, I totally did not expect to be accidentally arrested. I thought we were going straight to Helgen. Whoops!
Several elixirs for sale.
I am sorry about that. I hope you can put it back where it belongs.
Yes?
All right.
Come back anytime if you need a remedy.
Nope, wrong key. Let's try this again.
Good morning.
I wanted to go here.
Take a look.
We are in need of health potions. So what's up with that? Nobody has any health potions? Oakley dokley. I just said Oakley dokley. Okay, well, all right, fine. See if I care. Kinlen on a whim buys these apples here. And I'm gonna just pause for a minute so I can remember the recipe for making health potions that I've used before. I believe it's imp stool, which sounds, you know, yummy. And blue butterfly wing. And even though Kinlen hates the taste of it, charred skeever hide. We'll take 10, and that should give us 20 potions. Let's see if I'm correct. I did that by memory. Kinlen and Arcadia talk, and she says, I need some health potions. Could you brew some for me? Arcadia agrees gladly. Any opportunity to brew up a potion? I'm using a mod called NPCs Can Craft. And I think, yep, this gives us some restore health. Blue mountain flower. Charred skeever hide. I thought I bought more than one blue mountain flower, but I guess I didn't. Nope. These also cost a bit too. Take this and this. And we don't need any fortified chanting. So where does that leave Kinlen now? With health potions. That's 11 restore health potions and 12 regenerate health potions. So that should do for now. Especially now that she has a healer with her. Thank you, Arcadia. Valgus, let's go. Actually, I'm just having a thought. I'll just continue to tell them to rest again. Because, why don't we just lighten our load a bit here at Bellathor's? We haven't seen him in a while.
Let me know if you see anything you like.
Well, right now I'm simply interested in coin.
Welcome to Bellathor's General Goods. Welcome indeed.
Ah, thank you. I feel a little bit more welcome here in Whiterun than I have, well, since last night.
Take a look.
All right, let's do a little buying and selling. Get that flawless ruby out of here. This Hunting Brew silver decanter she found somewhere. And it's actually going to go on display in her apartments. Nothing there. You see, I did buy some blue butterfly wings. I did buy 20. I thought I wasn't crazy. Don't know why I couldn't make those potions from it. We're going to see if there's any magica potions she needs to sell. Nope. Some amulets. That is part of her Stormcloak outfit that she needs to put in her apartments as well too, to keep it in case she ever needs to go undercover, which she hopes she doesn't. She's done enough undercover Stormcloak work, although it's enjoyable for her. These are, oh, these need to go actually. Those are supposed to go in the Imperial Mail. Okay, that's it. I'm gonna just
Do come back.
Thank you. there really wasn't too much to lighten on the load. But also, just to keep things light, let's head up over here and send something through Imperial Mail.
Come on in. Let me know if you need anything, or take a seat by the fire and I'll send someone over.
It smells wonderful in here. I haven't been here in many a moon, it seems. But, your name again, Hulda. Yes, Hulda. Well, I wonder, I need to send something by Imperial Mail.
If it's work you need, how about chopping up some wood for the fires?
I love her voice, I'm not gonna lie. I love Hulda. She's awesome.
Of course.
Imperial Mail Services. There we go.
Of course.
Let's send a parcel to Solitude. And get those gloves. Orcish Gauntlets of Devastation. And pay 53 septums that's going to cost. The courier's got to eat somehow. You know, I think I might take a moment to eat. Just sit by the fire for a moment.
Sadia, wake up, dear. Yes, Mum.
We will get to Helgen by late morning or early afternoon. And what'll it be for lunch? Kinlen didn't get any. They don't offer food in the, we're gonna have some chicken and soup with a dumpling. A whole lot of chicken on this one. And a bit of Orsinian battle tea, as Kinlen's feeling. Orsinian battle tea is not only just, she loves the taste of it, she loves the thought of it, but she also, it gives her a sense of, I guess I'm thinking something like caffeine, like a wake-up sense. She's also going to have some salad. A wake-up sense, kind of empowerment when you're dragging type of thing. Kinlen takes a quick lunch. You'll notice that even though she called for Sadia, Sadia did not come. I have a mod in which stops innkeepers from walking over and asking if you want anything the minute you sit down. That mod is in my mod list, as always, which you can check out below. There are never so many goats in Solitude. We have more chickens than that very friendly cow in the street. Ah, do you have any milk?
Yes. Take a look.
Sadly, I am out of milk at this point. But I have this delicious cheese to offer you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. So, Mala, my previous character, who was Dragonborn, spent a lot of time. Whiterun was her home base. Interestingly, Kinlen hasn't spent any time, well, very little time in Whiterun. So it was a little bit like a homecoming. Also, Mala would always go down that way and jump down to save a trip around. It's not really Kinlen's way. The last time Kinlen was actually in Whiterun, if I remember correctly, I can see that they still need to clean up a bit after our battle, was for the Battle of Whiterun, which was in tail end of Season 1, I think, or the beginning of Season 2. I think it was the tail end of Season 1. So it's been months in our time that Kinlen has been. Just making sure that the followers are with us. It was so filthy in that jail cell. You know, for a person who is, I believe I am relatively honest, I've had to spend more time than I would care to admit in jail cells, both in the line of duty and on accident. In fact, as I speak, there's a gigantic bounty on my head in Windhelm. And I don't know, I'm sure Father has heard of it by now, as news travels remarkably fast to his ears. Anyway, we were listening to a book some time ago before that happened. So I'm gonna stop it and start it again. Because I don't know if you remember where we were. I don't. And we'll listen to the book on the way to Helgen. So enjoy the Dragon War. The Dragon War by Torhall Bjork. In the Merithic era, when Ysgramor first set foot on Tamriel, his people brought with them a faith that worshipped animal gods. Certain scholars believe these primitive people actually worshipped the divines as we know them, just in the form of these totem animals. They deified the hawk, wolf, snake, moth, owl, whale, bear, fox, and the dragon. Every now and then, you can stumble across the broken stone totems in the farther reaches of Skyrim. Foremost among all animals was the dragon. In the ancient Nord tongue, it was Dragakon. Occasionally, the term Dovra is used, but the language or derivation of that is not known. Using either name was forbidden to all except the dragon priests. Grand temples were built to honor the dragons and appease them. Many of them survive today as ancient ruins,
remind me of Topal
haunted
the Pilot.
by Draugr and
Drifting to new
undead
worlds while in
dragon
search of an
priests.
old one.
Dragons, being dragons, embraced their role as god kings over men. After all, were they not fashioned in Akatosh's own image? Were they not superior in every way to the hordes of small, soft creatures that worshipped them? For dragons, power equals truth. They had the power, so therefore it must be truth. Dragons granted small amounts of power to the dragon priests in exchange for absolute obedience. In turn, the dragon priests ruled men as equals to the kings. Dragons, of course, could not be bothered with actually ruling. At Mora, where Ysgramor and his people came from, the dragon priests demanded tribute and set down laws and codes of living that kept peace between dragons and men. In Tamriel, they were not nearly as benevolent. It's unclear if this was due to an ambitious dragon priest, or a particular dragon, or a series of weak kings. Whatever the cause, the dragon priests began to rule with an iron fist, making virtual slaves of the rest of the population. When the populace rebelled, the dragon priests retaliated. When the dragon priests could not collect the tribute or control the masses, the dragon's response was swift and brutal. So it was, the Dragon War began. At first, men died by the thousands. The ancient texts reveal that a few dragons took the side of men. Why they did this is not known. The priests of the 9 divines claim it was Akatosh himself that intervened. From these dragons, men learned magics to use against dragons. The tide began to turn, and dragons began to die too. The war was long and bloody. The dragon priests were overthrown and the dragons were slaughtered in large numbers. The surviving dragons scattered, choosing to live in remote places away from men. The dragon cult itself adapted and survived. They built the dragon mounds, entombing the remains of dragons that fell in the war. They believed that one day the dragons would rise again and reward the faithful. That was Dragon War, and also talking about how the animals that we see so often in the puzzles in the Nordic tombs came to be so revered in the book as well. It's a pretty interesting little tidbit there. Kinlen takes a moment to massage her sore left leg, puts her hands on her hips, and just takes a look at the beauty, Skyrim. In many ways, Skyrim is, I don't know if I can say more beautiful, but different than my home world, my homeland of Cyrodiil. Cyrodiil is more green and lush, rich forest, and Skyrim is harsh, cold, forbidding, but still a very aching beauty to it. The water here seems also clearer, colder, definitely. Great for drinking, not so much for bathing. She absent-mindedly tries to scratch a spot under her armor. It seems that I might also need a bath as well. I hear a noise in the woods. It seems that I hear a sound of arrows. Maybe it is a hunter. I will stay in plain view so he does not accidentally hunt me. Be careful, little one, there's a hunter around. What are you doing? Oh! Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, you were simply hunting. And your dog is now without his master. I am so sorry. The dog leans over his master and sniffs him, and then looks up at Kinlen. Oh no. I am so sorry. I thought that you were aiming for me. A tear falls on Kinlen's face. Valgus looks at Kinlen. What should we do? I cannot leave him here to fend for himself. Oh, I'm so sorry. Kinlen pats him down, looking for any kind of note as to where he was, or who he was, or there's nothing. It looks though that he had done a bit of scavenging. He has a Stormcloak officer's braces here. Well, we haven't used this in quite a while, but I think we have a way for Kinlen to make this a little better. I think we have, yes. I don't know, though, if we can drag the body off the road. I have a mod in that's necessary. It's one of those mods that's necessary for another mod that makes it pretty difficult to drag a body off the road. But let's see if we can kind of get him over here just a little bit. Good. Okay. Kinlen pulls the hunter's body off the road a bit, and her eyes moistened with tears, she says a little prayer over him. To whatever god you may have worshipped, even Talos, I'm very sorry. May your soul, wherever it is gone, rest easy. And then Kinlen begins to dig, using whatever tools she can use to cover the body as best she can. Now let's see, because it has been 2 seasons since I have used this spell. But I think you pointed at the body, if I remember. And yeah, that's it. And there's a tombstone. That's called, goodness, I don't know. That mod has been there for a long time. It's in my mod list, that's all I can tell you. Because I can't remember what it's called right now. Here lies Hunter Man interred. Well, it looks as if you're coming with us. We can give him a treat. Let's see if we can actually get him to follow us using amazing follower tweaks. Because I do not want to leave this poor little guy out here by himself. That was such a mistake. Dog is now a potential follower. Manage with AFT. You know, I think I have a home for you. Someplace that you'll do nicely. I don't know what your name is, though. We'll think about it for a moment. Let's see if you'll follow. It looks as if he will. Let's see, under AFT, if he is now in the hands of AFT. He is. Dog is now our follower. So now we have 3 hounds. But Kinlen wipes her eyes. That is a mistake that I will be sure to never make again. And you know, I remember this hunter as we ran into him the last time he was hunting around here, and I believe his hound. The dog mournfully cries, and Miko, always a sweet-hearted soul, walks extra close to him and barks him and snuffles him as if to comfort him. Well, you know, since this dog spent so much time at Helgen, maybe he might be known to the men here, and they may want to keep him as a companion. But I need a name for him. You know, I recall that my mother, I was never lucky enough to have a dog of my own, but my mother talked about a dog she had as a girl. And she named him Pepper. Maybe that will be his name. We'll see how it feels. Or perhaps we can name him Hunter. Sort of in... Yes, that's actually better. I can't tell you two apart. That would be the first problem. Would you like a new name? So I'm going here to find Jackson's renamer because I have to remember the key. Yep. So we should be able to just point it at our dog friend and rename him to Hunter. I hope it won't name all dogs to Hunter. I hope not. We'll see. And I'm going to try it again because I want to get that capitalized if I can. I'm picky. What are you going to do? I thought I had it capitalized, but I don't know. I'm old. I can't remember what I did 2 seconds ago. Nope. Looks like I'm not going to get it. All right. Ah, that feels better. Doesn't make up for what I've done, but... Ho! The gate! A friend approaches. Kinlen gives a quick rat-a-tat-tat against the gate with her sword. Ah. Hello. Just passing through, I see. So that was a Dawn Guard patrol that was stuck. Ah, Ulfric.
Yes. Did you need something?
I did, actually. I have found this poor abandoned pup along the road, and I'm wondering if you might take good care of him. I would offer you some gold for his care. Ulfric looks at the pup. He seems a sturdy dog. Why don't you talk to Valerius about it? I will. Thank you. And after some unexpected adventure, which is the fun of Skyrim, we arrive in Helgen. In between episodes, I'll work out how to leave our little companion friend here, Hunter, and he will. I'll leave him downstairs. I don't know how to leave him with a person, but I can at least leave him here and remove him from the AFT follower system. And then he'll sandbox around here and hang out and be taken care of by everyone here at Helgen. He'll be Helgen's first dog, and when Helgen is rebuilt. I want to thank you so much for joining me for this episode. That was really fun. Really fun. Sad. Really sad, but fun. But Kinlen just reacted as you do when someone has a bow and arrow aimed at you. And she had no idea, so there you go. Yeah. Anyway, I am so glad you joined me for this episode. If you enjoyed what you saw, please hit the thumbs up button below. And if you loved it, join the party and subscribe. I'll see you back here for more of Kinlen's story in Skyrim in the next episode. And as always, thank you so much for watching.